Hello and welcome back. My name is Guild Navigator, and this is episode 3 of my Let's Play as Morocco, where we're trying to conquer Iberia and colonize and stuff. So welcome if this is your first video, and welcome back if you've been watching along. So we're making some progress in Spain. They were at war with Portugal, as you can see. They've lost some territory. It actually looks oddly, extremely aesthetically pleasing in like an kind of unnerving way. They also went to war with Aragon. Aragon already had this, but I think they may have taken some more territory. I'm not sure. It looks like Navarra maybe took a little bit from Spain as well. I'm not sure, but basically Castile lost a war against Portugal, and I'm at war with them also with a special CB that's going to let me reconquer Andalusia. And they had landed some people here, and as you can see, my brilliant ally of Tunis is making the strategically, just awesome move of running his army into an enemy which is superior along every dimension, rather than waiting for the heaps of allies around to consolidate and win the war. I think it's called like Simpson's Law or something like that, about battles that you want to outnumbering, you get like exponentially more damage. Basically, you want to outnumber as much as possible. I'm not even going to look at that battle. I know exactly what's going to happen. There's just no reason it's going to make me sad. I'm using Granada kind of as like a little place I can go run and hide in. And in the meantime, we're doing some basically slave raiding, for lack of a PC way of saying it. So it looks like I think they lost the battle. Yeah. And then Spain has picked their boat up and is going to land them here, which is going to be nice. If they go here to this mountain, which I've built a fort on, I'll go beat them up. But if they want to unsiege these things, that's great for me, which means I can resiege them. Get the slaves a second time, because you get like a shocking amount of the population. Let's look. I don't actually know if these are going to succeed or not. So here, there is 9,837 people. Let's see what percent I get. Hopefully I get it before the... Oh, okay. No, this is a problem, actually. Very good research, but... I need to get out of here. Okay, if I go here... then back into Granada. I think that this is going to be the move, but I want to keep my eyes very carefully on that Spanish army, because if they catch me... Yes, I got like 1,000 slaves. Maybe that's from the wrong place. I don't know. You get a lot of people. I think I saw like 900 or something. So you get like 10% of the people, which is a lot of people. Stealing 10% is no small number of people to steal. Okay, I'm gonna go camp out over here, and I'll always be able to flee back into Granada. Okay, yep, just like that. And then the Spanish should not have access into here, so I can just hide. I can taunt them. Dude, you fools. They have no idea what they've done. They've only doomed these people, right? Like, their poor pops are just gonna be recaptured by me. Because like, what are they gonna do? They're just gonna go. They're inevitably gonna come down here. I don't know. I don't think I could beat them, even with the mountain fort. Because their general's worse than mine. 59, 70, 86 versus, yeah, like my guy's way better, but they do outnumber me 2-1. I'm okay with pissing the burghers off, because that actually reminds me that I can give the burghers even more privileges. I love giving the burghers stuff. In every Paradox game, You love the bourgeoisie. You can love your pops if you care about humans. And you hate the nobility. In this game, at least the nobility can fight, which is, I guess, like good and bad in the sense that they can fight back. But in Victoria 2 especially, it breeds a special resentment towards the nobility. I would be... Okay, I'm interested in the comments. What do y'all think of Victoria 3? Because it seems to be a polarizing game. And, you know, I think for myself, I feel polarized about it. There's aspects of it that I love. Aspects of it that are even better than this game. And then, you know, at the same time, I do kind of feel like its combat system is so bad that it almost makes the game like borderline unplayable. And I don't know if that's unfair, but now that EU5 exists, I'm not sure if I will ever play Victoria 3 again. Unless they like radically rechange the combat system, just because it's just so frustrating. Like, I don't know how to say it other than that. It's just really annoying. Okay, so I'm a little bit worried to just like go out there because I know that there's... Oh, okay, wait. They're all the way up in there in the north. So because the 19 stack is up there in the north, I can roam free. I'm gonna spin off like one guy, like the smallest guy I can find. Yeah, these 6 people here. And it's just their job to die. Like they just need to die first. You know. Okay, stability, legitimacy, or money. I like money. Because I just want to see the 19 stack before it gets close to me. And I would willingly sacrifice 6 guys for that task. Anyway, I don't know what I was yammering on about. Let's go build some more food while we're at it. Okay, not enough people. You're pretty much employed. You're also pretty much employed. I cannot afford it anymore. Am I colonizing down here? I can't remember if I started that yet. I did. Okay, cool. Like, my hope is that he's gonna be too tasty of a treat, even though he's completely useless, and that the AI is just gonna like charge after the little 6 people. And that will give me time to run away. I do think I'm stealing quite a few Spanish pops. Okay, yeah. Perfect. That worked exactly as I intended. Because the problem, right, if you go into somewhere like this is that you have like no line of sight. And so you just end up getting completely fucked. Okay, let's see. A good measure of how many people I've captured in my raids is how many Castilian pops I have. I mean, quite a few, but there should be a better way of seeing this. Like the number. Yeah, I can just see it here. Okay. Castilian. 1.5%. So basically 30-odd thousand. It's pretty good. It's a lot of people. I really want them to come to the fort because at this point I would try that battle. I mean, worst case, you would just respawn your army. It doesn't take that long for your army to come back. What has Tunis been up to? They just have been doing nothing. Maybe they lost their fleet or something? I don't know, man. I don't like this attrition that I'm suffering, though. I really like Castile. I sincerely, this is... I mean this. Keep on sieging this stuff. This is perfect. Like, I kind of run out of places to siege that I felt safe. Okay, are they falling for it? I think they're going to do it. Okay, so they're there. Let's see. So the terrain is to our benefit. We have a better army, but they... I mean, a better general, but they just have a substantially better army than us. Yes, like we can't even fill up the frontage. Are there mercenaries? So I can hire a mercenary leader, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get them over. And also, it's like it's a lot. They're expensive. I could build some more units. Let me do that first before I do anything else. I think having some armored horsemen will be good. They'll also take some events, ideally, from the siege and take some damage. I guess diplomatic capacity is pretty good. I don't know. In the meantime, though, I do think I might go harass them a little bit. I should have waited. Because once they got some siege ticks in there, they would have been more hesitant to move. Okay, I need them to know that I'm here. Okay, some more armored horsemen will be good. Yeah, see, if Granada was in the war, these guys would just be able to just come beat them up. And like, what would I do with their little army? What else could I hire? I could take out some more debt to hire an armored horseman. Some more. Because I could, in theory, afford to hire 2 more. Let's see. I think I will do that, actually. Because you can always pay money back. For example, I don't even need my fort maintenance on. Oh wait, actually that is a lie. That was a complete lie. I definitely need my fort maintenance on. Okay. I'm functionally out of manpower now. But I think 200 armored horsemen will actually make a surprising difference. Yeah, like already it says I'm gonna win. Hot. There's no rush though. There's no rush. I'm making money. That's always like the thing that feels like, you know, if you're draining on one of your like key resources, that's a problem. Okay, you're at 200. I could use the Diplo, but nothing's looking bad. In the green on everything. Gonna send this person north. You know, in the previous episode, I talked a little bit about institutions and my gripes. And kind of I understand what from a gameplay perspective they're trying to do, but just that it bothers me. And I'm gonna say that I'm not sure how you represent like Western divergence. You know, this is like a hotly contested subject in, you know, in academia, because in real life we only have one observation, right? Which is the one where what happened, obviously, as everyone knows, was that like this corner, like these three or four European countries, depending on how you want to count it or who you want to include, maybe up to 8 or 9, basically conquered the entire world. And you know what we can't tell is whether that has something to do with like very difficult to change geographic, genetic, cultural factors. So for example, like a geographic person would say, well, it's like obviously Europe did it. They're very well located, right? Like North America's right there, South America's right there. There's Africa here, and that's kind of like Kenneth Pomeranz is an economist, and that's his theory, is basically that like Europe was able to use the ecological resources in the Americas to like scale up basically into industrialism. It's kind of similar to like the I can't remember his name, but Why the West Rules for Now. I think it's Ian Smith. That sounds wrong. That might be the Rhodesian guy. I don't know what his name is. Like, it's bothering me. It'll come to me at some point. But his is somewhat similar, right? That basically their geography allowed them to build like a trans-climatic empire that blah, 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 blah. But then, you know, it's in a game like this, they don't necessarily want to make it so that Europe always dominates, right? Both because it comes across as kind of Eurocentric and because it might not be fun. But like materialist explanations that are like dependent on kind of the way that this game does it with just like trade really struggle to explain, in my opinion, in like a convincing manner, why Hungary and the Ottoman Empire and Russia were so technologically behind places like Germany, right? Like, if you think just here, all the way up until the 20th century, the technological and human capital drop-off between Germany and Poland was enormous. And you can't really explain that materialistically. Like, there has to be some kind of, like, cultural or, you know, maybe, like, if you're, like, a liberal, if you're, like, a leftist, some, like, kind of, like, a Foucault power argument that explains it, because it's baffling with any materialist explanation. And the game, like, let's just look at the institutions. The game, for example, reflects that. Like, there's just look, if you watch my Let's Play videos, this is what you're going to be getting. There's it's just spread via proximity and trade, right? So everyone has feudalism. It'll become more apparent later, but it's just going to spread. Like, there's not going to be like a delay of the transmission of the institution into pagan Lithuania that's going to spread just as quickly as it is into like France and Spain, which is silly in my opinion. But also, I love this game, and look, every simulation has its flaws, and I don't even know how I would better do it. So I've got my new cavalry here, and now I think I might be able to pull it off. I have a better quality army than them, a better general, and we're going to be fighting them in a mountain hill. Let's do it. Yeah, so they have way more people, but I've got my, like, tribal cavalry, mailed knights, armored horsemen. Got some beefy guys on the front line. Cool. So I smashed them. I think that we're now... I think I'm now just stronger than them. So I'm just going to go siege ship. I don't think they can do anything. I'm still not going to go after the forts. I think that that's a waste of time right now. At some point, I will eventually have to get them. But what I'll probably end up doing is, when I see the Castilian army again, I'll crush it. And I think at that point, it'll be pretty much definitively defeated. And then I'll call Granada in and we can occupy the forts. I feel a little bit like the Germans in the summer of 1941. I'm like, yeah, no, I defeated the Russian army. They're all gone. And you know, now all I need to do is just occupy all of Castile. It'll be really easy. We'll just walk right into it. Okay, are you being... No, please do it. Oh, you're going to. That makes sense. I thought you were going to go and occupy try to seize my fort. Much less opportune positioning. I'll still win, I believe. Okay. So I know you're supposed to do stuff with the Black Death. I always just completely ignore it. Look, the game has too much going on to pay attention to every mechanic, and feeding my pops and caring about the Black Death happen to be the two that I ignore. I would love to go to southern Spain. I've never been there. I've actually never been anywhere in Spain. Cool. Occupies Agencia. Okay, I'm gonna go beat up their army again. Let's see. Yeah. Basically, the best possible terrain that I'm gonna get. Yeah, just completely decimate them. Like they take like twice as many casualties as I do. I'm just gonna keep sacking Sevilla because it has 90,000 people. Like I think that's like 9,000 slaves every time I capture it. Let's test it. It should go down to, if I'm right, it should go down to 88,000. Nope, it did not. I wonder if that's because the castle is there. I bet you it is. So the castle keeps me from being able to steal pops. Because this is at 28,000. If I'm right that you take about 10%, we should go down to 26,000. Yeah. Yeah, so I think the fort makes it so that you can't. Sorry, I'm distracted by this. None of those seem particularly good. I believe there's like a whole tech tree for me over here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's look at this. Whatever the previous thing I was talking about, just pretend it wasn't happening. Subject loyalty is good. A note, that's really good. I like that. This is kind of how I do it. I just like go through the tree and just like look for the things that I want and click on them. And then you end up, you basically don't have enough to get everything. I think army initiative is good, but I'm not sure. But you don't have enough to get everything, and so you just end up getting the ones that you actually want. You end up getting some that you don't really want. Yeah, like none of those are good. Legislative efficiency is, I think, actually garbage. The time is useless. Time, we have plenty of time. Change policy cost. I don't care about that. Proximity cost is really good. Legitimacy, that's basically just money every month. Like same with this, right? Because you could think like I could either be buying it or I could be getting it passively. That's a lot. We can come back to this in a second. Actually, I might as well just finish it up, and then that's kind of a good stopping point for this episode. Religious wars is good. Less food consumption is good. And I guess supply limit is also good. I mean, all of this stuff is good. Okay, cool. I think I queued up the text that I actually care about. And at that point, hopefully we'll have the Renaissance or the next institution. But this is a good point to wrap it up. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.